Hello, this is my flight around the United States. This leg is Atlanta to Miami. And we're starting with the pushback because this is where things started coming off the rails. As you can see, the pushback is still going on, and I haven't turned the way I was expecting to turn. So let me say at the outset, some of this was my fault. None of this was Pmdg's fault. And I think a great deal of it was Flight Simulator's fault. But in any case, I'm starting up my other engine, the left engine, and there's the tug moving in front of me for some reason. I had a problem with the throttles not moving earlier. Other than that, the pre-flight went great. The route's fine, crossing restrictions are fine, the weather looks okay, everything's just peachy. Both engines started up just fine, and then this. I'm still moving back. It sounds like the reversers are running. Obviously they're not. And then finally, for no apparent reason, that roaring just stops. Nevertheless, here I am, sitting here inside of a terminal, essentially, like a sucker. Stupid tug starts pushing me back again. Throttles are working, but not helping. And I cannot get rid of this damn pushback tug. So the smart thing to do at this point would have been to just shut down, restart the computer, and start over. But by this point I was mad, and I wanted to see what the hell was going on here. I will say one good thing that came out of this was I finally figured out how the parking brake works now. Well, not at this point because I'm still trying to figure it out. Okay, the tug's gone. Thrust again doesn't work. I'm not moving. Looks like the parking brake's on, but I'm not really sure. Now luckily I had all the crash detection turned off because of some previous external recording I was doing.
Cockpit to ground. Go ahead. We've been cleared for pushback and start. They want the tail to our right.
Right. Figured I'd try and start the pushback again and see what happens then. Maybe they could just push me all the way through the terminal and I'll just leave that way.
Brakes released. Brakes released. Here we go.
Well, we're not going anywhere. There's my tail sticking through. Just sitting there like an idiot. Nice scenery though, isn't it? I bought the payware because I figure I'll be flying in and out of Atlanta a lot. So I just slew my way out of there. Good enough. Still not moving. External check. Oh, good lord, a door's open. I have no idea how that happened. I closed them before I left the gate. So someone out there might be figuring out what's wrong by this point. I hadn't yet. But I had taken to the internet, and here I am looking at the landing gear to see if they're even turning or if anything's obstructing them. Now we got another damn tug hooked up. Well, I don't know why. I didn't ask for one. And he's slowly pushing me back. I'm guessing because at this point my parking brakes are on. Okay. Moving forward. Got rid of the stupid tug. And we're finally starting to move. Here's the problem. Somehow active pause had been enabled. I don't know how. I never even use it. I didn't have a... well, let me take that back. There was a keyboard command mapped for it, but it was a compound... I don't even know. Something I would not have hit by accident. I got rid of it just to be on the safe side, but checking the controls here just to see if everything's moving, because I also can't steer. Now I can steer. Okay. So this then really is the end of the first fiasco. And again, I'm sure some of it was my fault. Not much, though. And I will go to my grave saying that. I don't know what the hell was going on with Flight Sim. Things seem to be working okay at this point. So we're up to the, what runway was this? 8 right. And at this point, I don't give a damn if I've got the landing lights on or not. I'm just wondering if this thing will even get into the air.
Airspeed's alive. 80 knots. V1. Rotate. E2. Positive rate of climb.
Now here's one thing I did screw up. If you notice, I did not put my V2 speed there in the airspeed window. So the flight director was giving me all kinds of weird crap, trying to get me to go 100 knots. But again, my whole flow got thrown off because of that stupid active pause thing. I don't even know what that's supposed to accomplish. Active pause. I mean, it's an oxymoron, really. And I'm still flying myself here just to see if things are, you know, working kind of like how they're supposed to. Whoever posted that thing in the Pmdg forum about the active pause, I owe that person a beer or something, because that was just incredible. So now we're en route, handed the plane over to Eduardo, and pretty much just looking at the pretty sky now. And the airplane's working just fine. And I remembered the weather radar doesn't do anything. Figured I'd check it because 37,000, there's some pretty high clouds up there. So we're well into the descent into Miami at this point. And one thing I do like very much about the electronic fun bag is being able to actually just type into it. So much easier. Of course, it would have been even easier if I just clicked arrival, I guess. Now here's some bad news. Because of all of that boofus stuff in Atlanta, it's going to be dark when I land in Miami. I really wanted to land in the daylight. I just don't like flying at night in this simulator. I don't know how realistic it is because my actual flying, I didn't get far enough to start night flying. But, and it's not so much the ground itself, it's after you land, trying to find your way around these airports, the default ones anyway. It's just, you can't see anything. But here's where it comes off the rails again, and all of this is my fault. We're going to be landing on 8 right, and because I was not flying on VATSIM, thank God, or using any kind of ATC, I had to adjust the arrival a little bit, and we did this little weird sidestep here. That wasn't the problem. The problem is two things, actually. First of all, I didn't have very good situational awareness. I thought I had more time than I did. And the second problem, as a result of that, very poor speed management. I'm going way too fast at this point. So I dropped the gear, I started dumping flaps out, trying to slow down as best I could. And since this isn't real life, I might have actually managed a decent landing here.
1,000.
Okay, you're going to hear the autopilot disconnect a lot, and that's because this is the one thing about this whole landing process that wasn't my fault. Somehow, the autopilot disconnect got mapped additionally to my trim button, trim down button. And here's where it all falls apart. Clearly, a go-around is in order at this point. But not me. No, no, no. I just keep barreling right on in. Okay, even I at this point can't stomach this, so time to go around.
Airspeed full. Airspeed full.
Good grief. Pathetic, isn't it? Yeah, pretty noisy flight. Doesn't do much good to hit toga if the autopilot's not, or the auto throttle's not armed. Did I fly the published missed approach? Absolutely not. I had bigger problems than that. Pushing buttons like a maniac, not doing anything. And why? There you go. Turn the damn autopilot on. Okay, so basically all I did was I did a left traffic here, and kind of pretty though, isn't it? Okay, so we're jumping ahead here. I'm just about to turn left for my ILS intercept. And frankly, I didn't do a real good job of this either. As you can see, I'm already coming up on the glide slope and still a ways from the localizer. I should have gone out further. So I figured I'd just... Yep, there you go. Ugh. I will get that fixed. Anyway. Just gonna take it in by hand. I can't do any worse than I did the first time, right? So, what the hell? So how will it go this time? I just noticed I still have the auto throttle on.
Approaching minimums.
Oh, there it goes. Well, considering all the BS that came before, I'd say that's a pretty happy ending. But there's that roar again. I don't know what's going on with that. I cut the reversers out at 80 knots, roughly. And yeah, that's the default scenery. And just for grins, I thought I would show the exterior view of this landing. This is the good one, not the go-around. Good being a relative term, of course. Now look, you can see, hang on, look, there's the fun bag glowing in the cockpit. Now that's attention to detail there. Well, that's basically it. The trip up the East Coast, going to be using a variety of different planes there. We'll see what happens. And I hope I can find some freeware sceneries for some of those places. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Hope to see you next time.